A few months ago, I uploaded this video here sharing with you all that I was going through a period of burnout, and I thought it was about time that I sat down and updated you on what's been going well and what hasn't been going so well with burnout recovery. So let's start with an obvious one. What hasn't been going so well is uploading content. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who left such kind, supportive comments on that burnout video. You know, it's like, I don't know, a scary thing as a content creator to take a break for such a long time, and I know I just disappeared for a few months on you there at the end of last year. So to be able to come back and have people watch the video and care enough about the content to actually comment on it as well, that just meant a whole lot to me. So thank you very much for all of your support. And I'm sorry that I've left you hanging with another long gap between content. And to be honest, this is probably going to continue to happen this year as I figure myself out. I knew that I was going to have to approach my content business a little bit differently this year. And I even sat down at the beginning of the year and mapped out okay, what does a scaled back, more focused version of this look like? How do I optimize my schedule for producing just one video a month? You know, that seems like a goal I could aim for. Clearly not a goal that I've hit. And the honest truth is that there's been so many times that I've thought about making content, I've thought about getting back to work on my business, and just felt this sense of dread around it, which is kind of horrible to say, so bear with me here. I know that it's irrational, but I think that part of me feels like by restarting that again, by working my business and doing tasks similar to what I did before, I'm getting back on the hamster wheel. And I know that's not true. I know that I am in complete control of whatever I want my business to look like. I don't have any investors, any team, anyone really to stay accountable to except for you, my lovely viewers and the audience who's been supporting me for so long. And I know that you have told me you don't care if you're not seeing content every single week and to go easy on myself or whatever. But there's definitely something there where it feels like getting into work on content again, there's this fear that it's gonna feel like it did before, or there's this fear that it will put me back on that hamster wheel of striving for more. And that is a me issue, that is not a you issue. Like I said, you've been very supportive. So really what I've been doing with my business is just kind of waiting for it to feel right. A couple of weeks ago, I had this sudden urge to work on some writing for my marketing design book that has definitely been put on the back burner. So I went with that, did some writing, and it felt great. I'm filming this video today because today I felt like sitting down, talking to the camera and making some content. And if you are seeing this video, it means I also managed to feel like editing it too, because there has been some videos that I filmed in the past few months that I just gave up on editing. So yeah, it's a tricky thing. When I uploaded that burnout video, I truly thought, okay, this is me coming back. I'm gonna commit to a very light schedule of just one video a month since then. And I mean, yeah, by the time you see this, it's probably June or even later. To sum all this up, I guess what's not been going so well is my business in general. And we will definitely see that reflected in the income report that I will be publishing soon. That is one piece of content that I love making every single year. So I am definitely looking forward to my accounting year wrapping up and putting that video together for you. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Something that has been going well for me though is been prioritizing some form of movement every single day. I've had this I don't know, I guess mindset shift where I'm working out as much for my mental health as I am for my physical health. I know that probably sounds pretty obvious, but for me, this has helped me, I don't know, find more freedom in working out. It's helped me enjoy it more too. And that's partially because I've also found the types of workouts that I really do enjoy and that do make me happy. Twice a week I go to a yoga class in the park, which is where I'm on my way to now. And then another twice a week I go to a HIIT training class, also in the park. So it's been fun to do these group workouts outdoors, which in Spain you can do pretty much all year round. I think part of it is the social aspect of those classes as well. It's allowed me to meet a bunch of people who know me entirely outside of work and business, you know. And so we go for coffee after workout sometimes, we have chats, and we rarely talk about work, and that is nice. So yeah, 4 times a week I'm at classes in the park, and then I also have a weekend gym membership where I go and do an Apple Fitness Plus run on the treadmill. I really like their guided runs, or I'll lift weights, whatever it is that I feel like. And then on any day that I'm not doing an actual workout, I make sure I'm going for a walk. So I guess while I may be struggling to find some sort of routine for working on my business, at least I'm finding a good routine that's working well for me in my mornings for my health, and honestly that's more important. Something else that's been going well is sewing. Welcome to my very messy sewing table. This is a hobby that I shared with you all that I picked up in that burnout video, and I'm pleased to say that it has still been going strong. It's still been bringing me a ton of joy. I've made several dresses now, like this one here that I'm wearing, and a few more that I'll pop up on screen. This is currently a skirt that I'm making for the summer. It's all lined and very fancy. What I have loved about sewing is not only like, you know, doing something physical with my hands off a screen, which is something that I've needed to have like a hobby in for a very long time. Honestly, I spend way too much time on screens normally. But also what sewing has done for me is remind me that I am still a highly motivated creative person. The fact that I've completed so many projects since I first started learning how to sew, the fact that I find enjoyment in like learning new techniques and trying to get something new right and being a beginner again, that was definitely a fear I felt when I realized that my business was exhausting me so much to do alongside my full-time job. Is it's like, okay, well, am I someone who does side projects anymore? Can I get motivated to work on a project, to complete something? And sewing has told me the answer is absolutely yes. And that's how I know that when the time is right for me to like go all in on my business again, I will. Hello, editing Charlie popping in here to say that this was a really big point for me, and I feel like it's kind of understated in this clip, which is why I wanted to come on here and talk about it. I tied so much of my identity up in being a person who ran a business alongside a full-time job and in being able to like do it all, find ways to make it happen. And so when I couldn't do that anymore, I honestly felt like I lost part of my personality, which is sad to say, but it's just the honest truth. And so yeah, getting into sewing and like being able to feel that motivation and creativity again, and remind myself that those are still parts of my personality, that is still who I am. And it's just that in different phases of life, I might apply those to different things. So there we go, back to the video. It's also nice to like express creativity in a different way. I've been a designer for many years, and since becoming creative director, and especially over the last year, I would say, as I've really like leveled up in my career, more on that in a second, I'm doing less work like in Figma, moving pixels around, actually designing a project from start to finish. And so having projects that I can complete from start to finish, you know, with my sewing projects, that's been a really nice like creative outlet. I'm enjoying sharing my sewing projects on Instagram, so follow me over there if you want to see more. And I have a whole cupboard behind me of fabric that I bought on my recent trip to New Zealand that I'm excited to start turning into clothes. Let's set you up on my desk and we'll talk about work. So something that hasn't been going so well for me in this area is managing work stress. I felt like I was starting to get a handle on it, like I was, you know, finding ways to switch off at the end of the day and to, yeah, just like stress less about the little everyday things at work. And then work got a lot busier. For reasons that I will be able to share with you all soon, but not quite yet, there's been more responsibility on my plate over the past few months, and we're just in like a busier time in general as a company, and that's meant that I need to develop some new coping methods to deal with the work stress. I have noticed that over the past few weeks especially, I've been like checking Slack last thing before I go to bed, which I know is terrible and, you know, not effective, because then I'll like forget that I've read something and forget to address it the next morning anyway. And so I need to stop doing that. This is a note to myself, because yeah, maybe actually I don't need new coping mechanisms. It's just that it's harder to stick to the routines that were helping me minimize stress before when things are busy. Oh cool, and now some drilling has started outside. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm just gonna talk over the drilling, so apologies if you can't hear it. But related to work, there has been a positive side to like the busyness and the responsibility as well. And that is that over the past, I guess I would say maybe past 6 months, I've found myself operating at a higher level. I can feel myself like reaching the next level in my career, and I'm actually talking to my manager at the moment about going for a promotion, so I'll keep you updated on that. I think burnout and like trying to manage work stress has forced me to stay out of the weeds on certain projects and just like trust the team with them. And my team are fantastic, and so there's been no problems with doing that, and that really I didn't need to be as involved in all the details as I was all along. This one might warrant a full video at some point talking about how burnout led me to realize some things that I should be doing differently as a creative director. But I would say overall I've been leaning more on delegation, more on just like assigning outcomes to my team members and just saying like, hey, I need you to own this. and then watching them run with it, being there to answer questions when they have it, but not like staying involved in that process myself. That's left me to be able to focus on the like higher level strategic work that's happening at the moment, the bigger responsibilities on my plate, and it's been working out really well. And so I'm really, really pleased that during this period of burnout, I am still able to do my job well, show up for work, and grow in some ways, because I know that as a generally motivated person, it would feel frustrating if I wasn't growing at all and if I was stagnating in my full-time role as well as with my business. And so I'm like, cool, at least something's going right.
Editing Charlie popping in again to say that I think part of the reason that I hit burnout in the first place was because things weren't running as they needed to be at work, and my manager made a bunch of changes to our team and how we operate, and that has left me feeling more like my work is having an impact, that we do have the resources, or like a plan to get the resources that we need to get things done and to get them done effectively. And I just felt like it was important to mention that here, that changes happened at work that has led to me being able to feel like I'm growing and succeeding again, which has been really important for my burnout recovery. So thanks, Dave, if you're watching this, but you're probably not.
Clearly, I still have issues to work through with self-worth being tied up in my work, especially with how I'm feeling about my content business, and feeling like almost a little ashamed of myself, honestly, that I haven't been able to get into a routine with it again, and the like fear that I've been feeling about getting back on the hamster wheel. Because it's one thing to be proud of your work, and it's another to tie up your personal like self-worth in it. So I guess it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Something's going well, something's not going so well, but I'm still trucking along. And like I said, if you're seeing this video, that means that I felt like editing it and I felt like making this content, so you can be rest assured that I truly did enjoy putting this video together for you. I am going to continue that approach to content creating, quite honestly, throughout the rest of this year, and so you'll see me when you see me. If you didn't see last year's income report, definitely go on over and watch that, because it's going to be very interesting to compare that previous year's income to this year's.